Yeah, beautiful Sunday morning. I got up. Thank God for this beautiful day. But as I got up, I got on my YouTube channel and I started looking at this guy that I watches pretty much every Sunday. He only comes out every Sunday with a video. But he's basically what you would consider a legit YouTuber. And I have a video right now. And I'm just gonna be able to, in other words, I'm just gonna be able to allow another phone to play that video. And I'm gonna record it with this camera right here. And I want y'all to watch this video, and where it shows a black man right now is being framed as the pipe bomber, when it was actually a white lady that was the Capitol Police that now is a CIA agent, and has been computer analysis has matched her up as being matching with the so-called pipe bomber. But yet they got an autistic black man locked up for this. And I'm gonna let you all see this video, and I'm gonna hold basically phone to phone as it plays. But you all need to check this guy out.
The court case is heating up about the January 6th pipe bomber. The FBI arrested an autistic black man named Brian Cole Jr., and they are prosecuting him as the pipe bomber. But more and more people are starting to suspect that the actual pipe bomber is a woman who works for the CIA named Shawnee Ray Kirkhoff. I'm going to give you all the facts and let you decide. Let me start by saying that we do not know for sure that either of these people are the pipe bomber. The evidence against both people, in my opinion, is circumstantial. But the real concerning thing at this point is how the FBI is handling this case. Why are they prosecuting Brian Cole Jr. so aggressively, while at the same time turning a blind eye to Shawnee Ray Kirkhoff? Why is this woman getting special treatment? I have done 2 videos that you can go back and watch if you want more details on this case, but I'm going to give you a really quick summary. The day before the January 6 protests, someone placed pipe bombs at the Republican and Democrat headquarters buildings in Washington, D.C. These bombs were found moments before the protests happened at the Capitol, causing mass confusion. After January 6, the FBI hunted down thousands of people involved in the protests, but for some reason, they were unable to identify the pipe bomber. Christopher Wray, the head of the FBI under Joe Biden, said this.
Jules, I will tell you that we have done thousands of interviews, reviewed something like 40,000 video files, of which this is one. Assessed 500 something tips.
Have you interviewed that person?
Devices. We have conducted all logical investigative steps and interviewed all logical individuals at this point.
Then it's 900 days. You need to tell us what you found, because we're finding stuff you haven't released into the public.
Hey boss, can I get some extra hours? Sorry man, overtime isn't in the budget. Why don't you hop on Shift Smart?
Stuff you haven't released into the public.
They claim they have done all logical interviews and have no idea who the pipe bomber is. This sparked a lot of criticism from conservatives, because it seems like the FBI is protecting this individual who was the basis for much of the claims of violence on January 6. This has led to theories that the insurrection was actually a Fed-surrection. The whole thing could have been a planned operation by the Feds and the CIA to entrap Trump supporters. Thousands of lives of ordinary Americans have been destroyed, and yet the pipe bomber remains a mystery. Now, I know that some of you are thinking, Zach, you have gone off the deep end. There is no way the intelligence agencies are involved in a massive conspiracy. Just keep watching. Trump comes into office, but to everyone's surprise, the FBI makes no progress in identifying the pipe bomber. Then a news reporter named Steve Baker, who worked for the Blaze, wrote an article identifying Shawnee Ray Kirkhoff as a potential suspect. She used to work for the Capitol Police and now works for the CIA. There is a lot of video of her, and a computer analysis of her gait matches 94% with the pipe bomber. What is even more shocking is that she is the Capitol Police officer who was one of the first people who fired into the crowd on January 6. She actually instigated the violence. So if the person who planted the pipe bomb is the same person who started shooting into the crowd and who now works for the CIA, that supports the theory that January 6 was a setup. Shortly after Steve Baker's news article was published, the FBI miraculously makes progress on the pipe bomber case. They arrest an autistic black man named Brian Cole Jr. They claim, based on circumstantial evidence, that he is the pipe bomber in the video. To be fair to the FBI, they claim that Brian Cole Jr. gave a complete confession while in custody. However, the FBI has not released the video of the confession. That suggests to me that something is wrong, that it was a forced confession and maybe even involves torture. Brian Cole's arrest immediately raised a lot of suspicion. All the eyewitnesses who have seen Brian Cole say that he walks his dog every day wearing headphones. People say it is clear that he is in altered mental state because of his autism. Why would this guy suddenly decide to walk around DC without his headphones? He's even wearing his headphones in his mugshot. If he needs to wear headphones to feel secure with his autism, why would he suddenly take them off to plant the bombs? It does not make any sense. And that brings us to today. The FBI is aggressively prosecuting Brian Cole Jr. for planting the pipe bombs. But the more that comes out in this trial, the more unbelievable the charges become. The prosecution has been desperately trying to keep documents under seal. Here's the defense motion to unseal one of the documents. Let me show you the reason the government uses to justify why sensitive material needs to be kept under seal. They claim the documents contain identifying information, including true names and photographs, regarding government agents who acted in an undercover capacity with respect to this investigation. This seems highly suspicious to me. These agents were undercover doing what? Scoping out this autistic black man? Or were they undercover in the January 6 operations, and that is what they're trying to cover up? Let us go back to Shawnee Ray Kirkhoff, because I want to explain what the gait analysis actually is. Everyone has a unique way that they move. It's almost like a fingerprint. We can take video of Shawnee Ray Kirkhoff and Brian Cole Jr. and compare them against the pipe bomber videos. Brian Cole tends to walk with his feet pointed outward, almost in a duck walk. The pipe bomber walks with their feet pointed inward, almost like pigeon-toed. Brian hunches forward, but the pipe bomber stands straight. Brian keeps his arms close to the body. The pipe bomber's arms swing freely. Brian's feet are disproportionately large and are a different size than the feet of the pipe bomber. Brian has a long neck. The pipe bomber does not. Brian holds his cell phone 6 to 8 inches from his face. The pipe bomber holds their cell phone in their lap. It does not look to me like this is the same person. You tell me. Take a look at these videos. Do you think this is the same person? Or did the FBI arrest the wrong person for this crime? Now let's look at Shawnee Ray Kirkhoff. Here is Steve Baker explaining on the Kyle Seraphin podcast.
All right, this is in the Capitol Rotunda, obviously. Highlighted right in the middle is Shawnee Kirkhoff. She's carrying one of her less lethal launchers on her side, and as you see her move, you can see something that is generally referred to as circumduction of her leg, right leg. This is what is very unique about her gait. Watch how it's stiff. Just watch the right leg there. It's the person holding the weapon. It's a paintball gun. I mean, a pepper ball gun. And it goes out and around over.
It's like her ankle. It's like her ankle buckles.
Yeah. Well, she had a severe college college soccer career-ending injury in 2015. This is a very common post-injury, post-recovery move by people that have had this particular tibia break.
You have now seen both people. Who do you think looks more like the pipe bomber?
And this one's really good.
This one's very revealing, especially when we're going to be showing versions of all of these zoomed in on, but you can really see it, and it becomes more pronounced the more fatigued she is. They go, oh, she can't be fatigued. She's a marathon runner. Well, she is. She's a marathon runner.
As of last week, Steve Baker was fired from The Blaze. Because of his reporting, The Blaze was receiving threats to sue from a law firm named Claire Locke.
Oh, that's a winner.
I didn't think he was a baseball fan, Blake.
Come on, I love homers.
From a law firm named Claire Locke. This is the same law firm representing Brigitte Macron in her lawsuit against Candace Owens.
You know, I got the same demand preservation letter that you got from the big bad lawfare industrial complex firm by the name of Claire Locke that is ostensibly representing Shawnee Kirkhoff. Now we know that that's not who they're representing. They're representing government. There's no way that Shawnee Kirkhoff can afford Mr. Claire himself, his published rate is $1,800 an hour. And, even though she may not be at the bottom pay scale as a government employee, she can't afford $1,800 an hour, especially when you consider that at $1,800 an hour, they're monitoring every single thing that you and I do, Kyle.
Steve Baker is going to continue to report on the pipe bomber story independently, and you can follow him on x.com under @SteveBakerUSA. So what is happening to Shawnee Ray Kirkhoff? As a reminder, the FBI stopped considering her a suspect when she produced an alibi.
So Jennifer, what was her alibi?
Her alibi, that's a great question. Her alibi was that on the night that the bombs were placed, she had time-stamped video of herself playing with her puppies, her young dogs, and she shared this video with the FBI, and that was part of what convinced the FBI that she had nothing to do with this crime.
She had proof because she was playing with her puppies.
Well, we are finding out now that is a lie. According to new court documents, the defense is trying to subpoena the alibi video. It references the alibi footage as the video of Ms. Kirkhoff's dog taken at her home with her voice allegedly in the background. We still have not seen this video, but this is the description of what the defense understands the video is. It is not of puppies. It is of her one dog, and Shawnee Ray Kirkhoff is not even in the video. Audio of what might be her voice is coming from off screen. This is what she is using as her alibi. Now you tell me, could something like that be faked? That certainly does not seem enough to me to be used as an alibi. But it gets worse. In the document we find out, on November 6, 2025, Ms. Kirkhoff was interviewed by the FBI and took a polygraph examination. She was asked two relevant questions. 1, did you place those pipe bombs? And 2, did you place those pipe bombs that evening? Ms. Kirkhoff failed the polygraph. Excuse me? This lady failed the lie detector test when she was asked if she placed the pipe bombs. I don't know what you think, but this person is seeming pretty suspicious. It goes on. The FBI polygraph examiner noted Kirkhoff's very controlled reaction to the news of her failing the polygraph, and seemingly rehearsed responses to the examiner's questions. It just seems strange that the FBI would have all this evidence against Shawnee Ray Kirkhoff and then quickly drop the investigation and go and arrest Brian Cole Jr. What really frustrates me about this whole thing is that Dan Bongino, the former deputy director of the FBI, recently gave an interview and he said this.
So what would you say you're most proud of?
Man, I mean, we did a lot, and I don't want to take any kind of celebratory victory laps, but, the pipe bomb case was definitely sensitive, obviously. There was a lot going on. That's an ongoing investigation. But sitting there, I was sitting down, and I had brought in a different group of guys to take a look at something, and I got a call from a supervisor, totally out of the blue. And he said, hey, boss, are you sitting down? And I said, yeah, why? And he said, I think we got a suspect in this case. And I gotta tell you, I was like blown away because I know we'd been busting our ass on it for a really long time.
The thing that he is the most proud of is arresting Brian Cole Jr. as the pipe bomber. Really? Because it looks to me like you arrested the wrong guy. I think Troy Williams put it best on X.com in his post. Framing an autistic guy for a crime is his greatest accomplishment. Dan Bongino really failed hard. Here's another comment by Chrissy Stallions. We all know it's the CIA chick. Dan Bongino is the guy who failed to release the Epstein files. He failed to discover anything about the shooting at Butler, Pennsylvania. He failed to make any arrests related to COVID or election fraud or weaponization of the government. What has he done other than arrest this poor autistic black man? What is even more frustrating is that if we go to the early days of the investigation, FBI information says that 2 early witnesses in the pipe bomber case describe the suspect.
In the beginning, we had to make a choice. But what we didn't realize
He's described the suspect as a white male. This was said by Representative Barry Loudermilk in a congressional hearing.
Additionally, the FBI operational updates note 2 eyewitnesses who described the gray hoodie suspect as a white male. Did this influence the FBI's investigation?
So why would the FBI say that the bomber is a white male and then change their mind and arrest a black man? Something does not add up. Kash Patel is the director of the FBI. The irony of all of this is that he wrote a book during Trump's election called Government Gangsters. I want to read to you from this book and pay close attention to his criticism of the Democrats under Joe Biden. In the most extreme circumstances, corrupt bureaucrats imagine a crime and then manufacture the evidence to pin on their opponents. They are thugs in suits, nothing more than government gangsters who act like they are righteous. Don't you think this is a little hypocritical? It seems to me like Kash Patel is doing the same thing he was criticizing the Democrats for doing. He goes on to talk specifically about the January 6th protests. It was clear the Democrats intended to use January 6th as a political weapon to demonize their opponents and solidify their power. Justice and truth were pushed to the side, and the political narrative became more important than anything else. This is why people are so shocked by the FBI's actions in the pipe bomber case. It looks like they're pushing justice and truth to the side and setting up Brian Cole as a patsy. Kash Patel wrote this book, and we all thought that it was his plan to clean up corruption. But it looks like we were wrong. It looks like he's using his book as a blueprint of how he himself can become a government gangster. Let's talk about what is really going on here. This is, in my opinion, allegedly. Donald Trump is using the FBI as an enforcement tool for the White House. Kash Patel is there to simply do whatever Donald Trump tells him to do. And Donald Trump does not care who the pipe bomber is. What Donald Trump cares about is consolidating his power. We know that the FBI is good at their job. They're not telling us, but I think they know everything. They know who the pipe bomber is, they know what happened to Jeffrey Epstein, they know what happened at Butler, Pennsylvania, and they know who really killed Charlie Kirk, allegedly. All of this information is blackmail material for Donald Trump to push through his agenda. That is what I think is really going on. If there was a CIA operation on January 6th, that implicates multiple Democrats. Trump can use that information to keep people in line. And so I think they are destroying the life of this poor autistic black man so that Trump can take the position as the leader of the deep state. Allegedly. Now, this is devastating for those of us who believed that Trump went to Washington, D.C. to fight the deep state. I want to support Trump. I want him to follow through on his promises. But I cannot support him if he does not release this obviously innocent man from prison. But despite all the corruption, I want you to keep something in mind. These are words that Kash Patel wrote himself in his book. What is heartening, and what has certainly not been part of their plans, is that tens of millions of Americans are refusing to bend the knee to the deep state. What terrifies the deep state is that despite spending years relentlessly spreading disinformation, and despite every illegal thing they have done to abuse and manipulate us, not only do we not believe them anymore, we now see them clearly for who they are. We know the truth, and that is what gives me hope. Kash Patel, I could not have said it better myself. Except that was when you were talking about the Democrats. Now when people think drain the swamp, they're talking about you. For legal reasons, let me state for the record that I am not saying that Shawnee Ray Kirkhoff is the pipe bomber. I don't know one way or the other. I've given you the evidence, and I'll let you decide for yourself. Now I want to hear from you. Who do you think is the pipe bomber? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. If you want to support independent journalism like this channel, consider signing up.
Now, also for myself, if you watch this video all the way out, hit that like button, subscribe. I have more important information in the future. I mean, not even involving this particular situation. I'm talking about when it comes to a lot of things that's going on right now here in the world. I mean, and I'm talking about real information, things that's documented, besides what I be putting on my YouTube channel, like the drones and the planes in the air. But like I said, hit that like button, subscribe, and maybe next Sunday I'll have something else to come through with. But I think we need to know about this because this is some real important information. I mean, a black man right now is actually being, framed. Autistic black man at that. And like the man said, for legal reasons, he say, I can't say whether or not, and that's because if you see the law firm that's coming at this guy for exposing it, the woman that's a so-called CIA agent now, I mean, her salary might be nice and big, but not big enough to afford that lawyer. So, like I say, all the information, you can consider it to be real. Hit that like button and subscribe. I appreciate y'all if y'all got to this point of the video. Thank you very much.